Hey everybody! We arrived at the Fruita campground in Capitol Reef National Park after traversing much of Scenic Highway 12, and we will share what that was like.
We suspected that we would have no cellular coverage at Fruita, and we knew that we would be boondocking. We prepared for both.
We also knew that this stretch of driving would have grades of up to 14%, and we were more than a little curious about how our tow vehicle with a Tab 400 behind it would perform.
We had activities planned for our stay in Capitol Reef, but changed our plans promptly after arriving. We'll explain. But first, let's look at our preparation.
We took 5 hours for the 136 miles from Ruby's Inn Campground to the Fruita Campground in Capitol Reef National Park. Not because we had to, but we did because we wanted to.
124 miles of our trek was the Scenic Highway 12, a road that has earned the right to be called an All-American Byway and is often called a journey through time, offering mountains, canyons, plateaus, and alpine meadows that at this time of the year show their fall colors. All of it is beautiful and has an especially noteworthy high-elevation section called the Hogback near the town of Boulder.
We like being remote, but take civilization with us in the form of Starlink. We move it to where we can use it by supplying it with power from an EcoFlow Delta 2 Max power station. For shorter stays and longer drives, we charge the EcoFlow in our SUV via its DC charging at a rate of about 100 watts. For longer stays and shorter drives, we make sure that we top it off via shore power. This way, it can charge at a staggering rate of 1,800 watts. The power cable for the Starlink Mini is long enough to plug directly into Snugglebean in most cases, but we like the idea of being able to lock the Starlink and its power source into our SUV, and then recharge that power bank while driving.
Before setting off, we refueled, filled up our freshwater tank, and dumped our holding tanks. We also double-checked our propane supply, as we would have to use it for hot water and heat. We almost always cook outside and away from Snugglebean to avoid splatter damage, so our onboard propane rarely comes into play for meal prep.
Highway 12 did not disappoint, and we'll share some of the views here as we talk about the Audi's performance. We were already confident in our Q7 handling the ascents, but I was worried about the number, length, and grade of the descents. We live on a hill and descend about 600 feet every time we go anywhere. Built and geared for high-speed driving, downshifting never had the desired effect, and coming off our hill, the Audi would ride the brakes when on cruise control. That was not something I was interested in doing. As it turns out, when connecting a trailer, the Audi automatically engages its tow haul mode. When in that mode and using cruise control going down a steep grade, the car will shift down a couple of gears and periodically pump the brakes, but not ride them, thus protecting the brakes from overheating. We had no trouble with the grades.
Arriving at Fruita immediately sent a tranquil feeling over us. A light breeze was blowing. Everything was calm and quiet. The wind was pleasant, and neither hot nor cold. We immediately started relaxing and decided on a slower pace for this stay.
We had originally planned to explore the farther reaches of this national park, but arriving in Fruita changed our plans. We would do what most visitors do, and with one exception, would stick around the Fruita district.
That exception was the Scenic Drive that would take us to the Capitol Gorge Trail with its pioneer register.
The Scenic Drive took us to the Capitol Gorge Road, which in turn leads to the Capitol Gorge Trail. An all-wheel drive car is not required, but we strongly suggest heeding the length limitation. It is very difficult to turn around in the tiny parking area at the trailhead. As always, starting your day early helps.
For 80 years, this canyon was a key passage used by Mormon pioneers, and it is hard not to think about how difficult life must have been back then. Yesteryear's graffiti has become today's registry. Some of these pioneer carvings are obvious. Others require a keen eye.
Hundreds of years before the pioneers arrived, ancient peoples, like the Fremont, inhabited this area. They too left their markings, and we viewed some of those just off Highway 24.
Capitol Reef has a lot to offer. There is an abundance of trails, many with small parking lots discouraging crowds. We enjoyed our time here, but it was time to wrap it up. Our fuel economy for our drive from Bryce Canyon had been a surprising 17.4 miles per gallon, raising our long-term average for the trip so far to 15.2. We used our Starlink Mini as we relaxed at Capitol Reef, bringing the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max down to 68%. Snugglebean was parked in the shade, but our 630 watts of solar panels still delivered a good amount of power, keeping up with our usage during the day. We ended our 3-night stay with 60% of our 400 amp hours. We had no trouble with our tank sizes, but we economized, and as we mentioned before, using thirds is not particularly useful. If we make a change here, we'll start reporting these values again. We also used about 10% of our propane for heating and hot water.
We started back to Western Washington prepared for longer days, but without making them stressful. The only unknown was a stretch of roads that would take us back to I-15. On the map and in my mind, it was potentially mountainous and slow going. It was not.
Our first stop took us through and past the population centers of Utah to the Aspen Grove RV Park. And as it is our tradition now, we passed Salt Lake City in the rain.
I can think of more fun family traditions.
Yeah, me too. The Aspen Grove RV Park seemed relatively new, well-maintained, and had everything we needed, including clean, private, and unlimited showers. Just what we needed for another long stretch that had us skip through Idaho into the western reaches of Oregon.
With the camping season pretty much over, the Farewell Bend State Recreation Area was already partially shut down and sparsely occupied. It is on the Snake River and makes for a nice stopover, near the interstate, with a truck stop at the exit, but far enough away to be very quiet.
In the words of the immortal Frank Sinatra, "It's very nice to go traveling, but it's, oh, so nice to come home." We very much enjoyed our Utah trip, but our last day also came with the excitement of returning home. We had traveled a total of 2,619 miles over 17 days.
Our NuCamp Tab 400 kept us comfortable, and our aging Audi towed us safely at elevations of over 9,000 feet. We are not sure what adventure is next. We'll see.
Thanks for watching.